Hello FPL managers, today we go over the Elite XI team reveal brought to you by Fantasy Football Fix. In today's video we have a look at the Consensus XI, which is a combination of some of the best FPL managers teams of all time, and look at the aggregated squad for game week 1. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to show support for the channel, and with that being said, let's get into the video. So before we have a look at the squad reveal, this team is based on a bunch of managers that have a combined total of 76 top 10k finishes and 57 top 5k finishes. These are some of the best FPL managers of all time, so let's have a look at their aggregated squad. So in goals for the Elite XI, they've gone with David Raya. It is definitely interesting to see David Raya feature here, as he is only the 4th highest owned keeper in FPL at the moment, with around 10% ownership, as a lot of other managers are preferring the more expensive keepers, such as the likes of Mendy and Allison. But I definitely do agree with this choice, as at £4.5 million, I do think Raya is probably the best keeper in the game at this price, better than the likes of Sanchez. Brentford have some very good fixtures from now all the way through game week 10, and David Raya did average 4 points per game last season, which did rank amongst the top 5 goalkeepers. So I do think that in the new season, if Brentford can keep up their good defensive form, David Raya is going to have a nice balance of clean sheets and saves. Onto the defenders, the first starting player here is Cancelo. Cancelo is also a fairly popular pick amongst other FPL managers, as he is one of the highest owned defenders. In fact, his ownership sits second amongst backmen, only behind Trent Alexander-Arnold. Obviously, Man City's defense is very solid, and I do think Cancelo's nailed that starting right back spot. So definitely, if he can keep up his good point scoring form, coming off the back of being the second highest scoring defender last year, he's going to be producing great numbers this year. Cancelo is one that definitely offers good potential at both ends of the pitch, and is definitely the most attacking Man City defender, with 1 goal and 11 assists last season. Moving on, unsurprisingly, Trent Alexander-Arnold features, as he is the highest owned defender in FPL with good reason. Despite being the most expensive asset, his underlying stats were very good, and this was harder with 2 goals and 12 assists across the year to accompany his 18 clean sheets. He did have the highest expected assists out of any defender last season, whipping in lots of crosses, so if he does keep up this good attacking positioning, which it does look like throughout pre-season, he's most likely going to be the highest scoring defender once more. And to cover for the defence, the Elite XI features a double up of Chelsea with Chilwell and Reece James. Both these players come in at £6 million in that fullback role for Chelsea, and they look to be both very good FPL assets for the new year. Chilwell did have the highest points per game when he was starting out of any defender last season for Chelsea, getting himself 55 points in just 500 minutes with 3 goals, 1 assist and 4 clean sheets. Reece James also had one of the highest expected assists per 90 minutes out of all defenders last season, as in just 1800 minutes he got 5 goals and 9 assists. Also, with a couple of other good signings in that Chelsea defence, such as the likes of Koulibaly, I do think Chelsea will increase their clean sheet tally this year, which just makes Chilwell and Reece James all the more better options. Onto the midfielders now. The squad features 4 players in the middle of the park, making it a 4-4-2 formation. Mo Salah is unsurprisingly featured in the team as one of the highest owned players in FPL, and he was the highest scoring player last year. He's a fairly essential pick in my opinion, with 265 total points last campaign, top scoring with 23 goals and also chipping in with 14 assists. As we've touched on before, he probably is the most essential FPL asset, as at £13 million he is definitely worth the money. He's such a consistent performer, and with Liverpool's great fixtures to start the year, facing 2 promoted sides in their first 5, with Fulham, Palace, United, Bournemouth and Newcastle, he's going to make a great start to the season. And that is why the Consensus XI have gone with the double up on Liverpool assets in midfield with Luis Diaz there. Diaz had some fairly decent underlying stats with a 0.6 expected score involvements per 90, and I do think hopefully he can get more starting minutes this year in that left wing role. Luis Diaz definitely gets plenty of chances in that Liverpool midfield, as well as creating a couple for his teammates, so I would expect him to make a fast start this year at £8 million. Pedro Nesto is not surprising to feature in this team, as at £5.5 million, he does look to be one of the best value FPL assets for the starting squads. According to Fix, Wolves have the best fixture run in the first 5 based on attacking difficulty, with Leeds, Fulham, Spurs, Newcastle and Bournemouth being their opponents. That is why 20% of managers already own him, and he is one of the best value players at this price. So if he can recapture his form in the 2020/21 season of 5 goals and 8 assists, I would expect him to also make a fast start. Gabriel Martinelli is also one to look out for, as at £6 million he is also a fairly popular pick in midfield with a roughly 15% ownership. He's made a good start to his pre-season as well with 2 assists in his first 2 games, so definitely one to look out for if he can get those nailed minutes in that wing role. Arsenal do have some of the best fixtures out of any team to start the season, especially in their first 5, with Palace, Leicester, Bournemouth, Fulham and Villa as their opponents. In my opinion, Martinelli is probably the best Arsenal asset in terms of attacking potential, as he did have the best expected score involvements out of any player in their team last season. Now onto the forward line, it is an unsurprising combination of Jesus and Haaland. These 2 players are actually the 2 highest owned players in the whole of FPL right now, with Jesus nearly notching up a 60% ownership. Gabriel Jesus has made a fast start to his pre-season with 3 goals and 1 assist in his first 2 games. As we've touched on with Martinelli, Arsenal have some excellent attacking fixtures to start the new season, so it's not surprising to see an Arsenal double up in offense. As far as forward options go, Jesus at £8 million is probably the best value pick, so it's not surprising to see him feature in the Elite XI. Moving on, Erlang Hahn is the highest owned player in FPL and the other player in the forward line for this team, as a lot of the best managers do fancy him to make a good start. Haaland was immense in the Bundesliga in the last couple of seasons, and I do expect him to be getting plenty of service from his Man City teammates, allowing him to get a high goal tally. Man City have the fixtures to suit for him to make a good start, as in the first 10 game weeks they have no matches with an FTI rating of over 3, so definitely with this extended good fixture run, Haaland looks to be an excellent value asset. I was expecting Haaland to be 12 or 12.5 million pounds to start the season, so seeing him at this price obviously makes him a very attractive FPL asset. So with the starting 11 covered, let's take a look at the bench. For the sub goalkeeper, it is the Brentford alternative of Ellery Belcom. The £4 million keeper is the sub for Brentford, so if David Raya doesn't play, these managers will have Belcom coming on to get those points. This is a fairly popular strategy amongst most managers, as it does allow for a guaranteed playing keeper every week. Looking towards the outfield defenders, Nico Williams features here at £4 million, as he looks to be the best value player at his price in FPL. He did start in a fullback role for Nottingham Forest during their pre-season, which does hold me with good confidence that he should be starting in the Premier League as well, and if you can get a starting 4.0 player, there's no reason not to go for them. Andreas Pereira is another one that looks to be the best asset at his price at £4.5 million in the midfield. Not only is Andreas Pereira playing as a central attacking midfield role, but he was also on set pieces as well for Fulham in their pre-season game, assisting Mitrovic off a corner. So as far as £4.5 million midfielders go, Andreas Pereira is definitely the best pick, and that is why he's in the consensus XI. And as the bench forward, these managers have gone with Greenwood from Leeds. He has been getting a fair few minutes during their pre-season as well, so there is potential for him to come off the bench to get some minutes for Leeds this season. Out of all the £4.5 million forwards, Greenwood did record the most minutes last year in the Premier League, so I would be expecting him to build on this with a couple of departures in attack from Leeds as well. Thanks for watching today's video. If you guys want to become a channel member, then click the join button down below and get featured on the members board at the end of the videos, just like Philip Ash here. Also, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to show support for the channel and click the notification bell. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one.